Hello, YouTube. This is going to be part 6 on how to, the guide or how to build the interface circuit that is needed for either the Midland MXR10 or the Retevis RT97S. Those two repeaters have a data port on the side, so you need an interface circuit. So this is part 6 of me building this, trying to tweak it, trying to get things working. Now I do have it hooked up. I don't have those repeaters here, so I have to build another circuit, as you can see over here, that is my interface circuit, so I can plug it into the other interface circuit that's going to be for the repeaters I just mentioned. Since I don't have those repeaters, I have to build another circuit. But that's okay, because that gives me a chance to do another series on how to hook up two handhelds and have them be in a full duplex repeater. But anyhow, this video is about getting this interface right here, this circuit here, working for the Retevis RT97S or the Midland MXR10 repeaters. So that's what this is part 6. Now I've been tweaking this. That's why I'm glad I didn't release a schematic, because I keep finding things I got to adjust and tweak, and because what you have on paper, you know how it is. Things you have on paper and the calculations you do is not how it ends up being in real life, due to noise or interference or whatever the case may be. So I have two handhelds hooked up, and I want to show you that this interface circuit here is working so far. I got to do a little tweaking. I think that's going to be more because I have this other interface circuit that I'm using to hook up these two handhelds. But at any rate, I got this repeater software. Let me go ahead and get that called up here. I have this repeater software up and running. I have it in duplex mode using a COM port. I do have it set so that it's a full duplex repeater. As you can see here, I have two radios hooked up. One's going to be a transmit radio. That frequency is going to be different than the receive radio. When I key up this circuit, you will see a green light on here, meaning that's receiving, and you'll see a red light on here at the same time, meaning it's transmitting. I will be using another handheld to key it up, and I have another handheld behind me that's monitoring receive of this setup. So hopefully you'll hear that. Now I'm gonna let you know. Now let's go ahead and turn off this. That I have everything really close here, so you're going to hear some feedback. That's going to be normal because I got all these radios so close. But I'm going to key this up. There's one thing that I need to tweak on this interface circuit before I can say I'm done with it, and then I can release the schematic. And that is the one thing. Let me call up this interface circuit. Is that there is a delay, just like a real repeater. When you unkey it, the repeater has a squelch tail or a hang time. And this software has that. Now, the lowest I can set it to, it's under tone. The lowest I can set it to is right here, is 1 second, which is not terrible. But, when I have that set, I can't turn it off. I can't make it 0. When I have that set for 1 second, when I unkey my radio, and I'm not talking on it because I unkey it, the last second of the transmission is going to be a little bit of a noise or static because there's no microphone, because I'm not talking on the radio. I'm unkeying it. So you'll see what I mean here. And let me call up my meter. And here is the meter. I want to call this up. You'll see more than 5 volts here. And that will tell you that the software here is in transmit mode, and the circuit is transmitting, and you will see the red light on the radio itself here. But you'll see what I mean when I unkey that radio. You're still going to see that COM port open for 1 second. And it's not a bad thing. It's not bad. I just got to somehow, maybe if I add a filter capacitor, try to clean up that line, the audio line. What's happening is there's no sound coming down the audio line, so the sound card is picking up noise, and that's why you hear that. Other than that, the sound sounds great. So I'll show you what I mean here. So let's go ahead. Let's key this up. I'm going to talk on this handheld. Hopefully you'll hear the radio in the background. Like I said, there's going to be feedback because I'm so close. And I got to have the volume up high so y'all can hear this. And then, like I said, watch. When this thing's in full duplex, you'll see a green light here, receive. And then you'll see a red light here. And I did mark the screen here, TX and RX. But these will both be on at the same time because it's a full duplex repeater using this software and using the interface that I built. So I'm going to key up this handheld, and you'll hear it hopefully in the background. Radio check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Radio check. I unkey it. Hear that noise? That's because there's no audio on that line when I unkey because I'm done talking. So I got to clean up that noise somehow. If I can get that cleaned up, then the circuit is, I think, done. So let me do it. You'll see what I mean. I'm going to key it up one more time. I'm going to talk. As soon as I unkey, you will see the 5 volts still, or 5 volts or more, will still be on that screen. That's like the hang time or the squelch tail or whatever term you want to use it. And a lot of repeaters do that. So it's not the software's fault. It's my circuit. I got to somehow clean up that the microphone inline, and maybe if I put a capacitor to ground, I'm not sure what I got to do to fix that. But that's the only hang up I'm having with this. I'm going to key up the radio again, and then you'll see also when I key this up, you will see down here, recording in progress, I think it says. You'll see this will turn a different color, red. So you'll see that. Like I said, I'm using COM port here. This is a COM port. This is not on Vox. This is all COM port. That's why it sounds really good and it works when I unkey this thing. When I unkey this radio, you'll see it. You'll say waiting for signal, but up here you'll still see the 5 volts because that COM port, which is my COM port 6, is going to hold open for about a second because that's what this software tells it to do. So, and you can't make it to be 0. I've tried. So that's what this software does under tone right here. Let me get my marker. This right here, delay to close, is where that setting's at. Okay. It'd be nice if I could make it 0, and then I want to deal with that, but that's just not the way it is. So, so at any rate, that's the only hang-up I'm having is that the squelch. I call it the squelch tail. When you unkey, that noise you hear. Other than that, it's sounding really good. And I do have, maybe you can't see it. Let me do this quick. Well, it's kind of off camera. Let me move it. I did not watch all. I am using, I moved it there. Since my computer jack is not very good, I am using the USB sound card for the microphone and the speaker out for this circuit right here. Okay? So I just want to point that out before I forget. So let's turn on the software. Okay, now you can see it. So I'm going to key it up. Radio check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Radio check. Radio check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. See? It's working good, except for I got to get rid of that noise when the repeater's still open. Right before it closes that COM port, I got to get rid of that noise. Otherwise, I don't. Hopefully, you can hear it here when I'm talking on the receive radio. I can turn up a little louder, but I'm going to get tons of feedback. Let me move this radio and turn up the volume. Maybe if I stand. Oh, let's see. Well, let's try this. This might be, I don't know. We'll try it. So hopefully you hear this. Radio check. Radio check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Radio check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. Radio check. Radio check. Hopefully you can hear that. 1, 2, 3. Sounding really good. But that's the noise right there. And that's going to be normal because I think I gotta put a filter capacitor on that mic line. And I'm going to play with that. But that's the only thing I got to figure out. If I can get rid of that noise, have it just be like a dead key, I'll be happy with that. But I got to be careful what I do because that's the microphone line. So I don't want to, I can't monkey with it too much or the sound quality is going to go down. And it's sounding real good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. And by the way, I'm using 2 ball fangs. Like I said, I'm using a ball fang to transmit and another ball fang behind me. That's my receiver radio, so you guys can hear the audio and how it sounds coming over the air. So this circuit seems to be working really good. Keys up real quick. You have to, I think I mentioned in another video, you have to adjust the volume on the receiver radio. Gotta get the volume about right. At least with this setup I'm using. I did do, let me turn off this. I did put some adjustments here because as you know, on the Retevis repeater or the Midland repeater, there's no volume control. So I did put some variable resistors that people can adjust it if you need to. So I did put those in the circuit. So in this case, you would adjust it here. But since I'm using handhelds to test this circuit, I can adjust it on the receiver radio. And then you got the volume on your computer too. So keep that in mind. So at any rate, let's go ahead and try this one more time. And let's key up one more time. Radio check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's like they call that the white noise. When you hear static, that's referred to the white noise in the electronic world, if you want to be technical. So you hear white noise when I unkey. Like I said, I got to try to muffle that out. Otherwise, this thing is working great. Radio check. Radio check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. And I am going to put, well, that's nothing to really do with you guys per se. But I am going to put in this other circuit here, let me turn this off. I'm going to put a adjustment on my little other circuit here so I can adjust the busy line for these handhelds. So I got a resistor in there now, but I want to put a variable resistor in there so when people do the handhelds to the COM port, they can adjust the busy trigger, the turn on for the busy Retevis and Midland call it the busy line. It's also referred to as squelch, all that same thing. So, any rate, so yeah, I'm liking it so far. I'm gonna do it one more time. Radio check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Radio check. And it's about a second. It's not bad. Like if I can get rid of the white noise or static at the very end, I think this circuit will be done. So, at any rate, I just want to give you an update what I'm doing. Once I get that fine-tuned, then I'll drop the schematic and y'all can go at it. And the parts list, I don't know. I'll have to look on eBay if you can buy like 2 transistors or 2 resistors. I know a lot of sellers sell them by 5 transistors or 5 resistors. It's not terrible. The price ain't that much more. I guess you may have to have a little extra parts, which is not bad. If you got to fix it or repair it, you'll have parts to fix it. So maybe I might be able to find another place where you can order them separately, not have to get 5 at a time. We'll worry about that later. But at any rate, if you have any questions or comments, please post them down below, and please subscribe. And thank you, and have a good day.